Often people are telling me, Anna, no more SUVs, we have had enough. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you've asked a woman something, she listened, and she did exactly what you've asked her to do? My thinking exactly. So here we are, Mercedes GLA. This is a direct competition of BMW X1, Audi Q3. I would usually do my introduction outside of the vehicle so that you get the idea of the size, but today, well, the weather is less than lovely. So here we are. And here I am just wafting along, having a seat massage. Let me tell you, if you're purchasing this car or any other car and you do have the option to get a seat massage, please do. You know what they say, happy wife, happy life. So how does the GLA feel to drive? Easy, effortless, relaxing. The suspension here absorbs all of the bumps and imperfections. You really actually can't feel anything. Mercedes just got it right. The car is also very quiet, no tire noise, no wind noise. Quite lovely, very, very pleasant actually. So I say let's sneak a little launch control. I've got my magic box from Race Logic. I want to point out it's not some cheapo box, but a proper measuring tool. So let's pop you into sport mode, foot on the brake, foot on the throttle. The declared 0 to 100 is only 7.3 seconds. Let's see what you got, Mercedes. I want to point out I'm not on a straight road. The surface is a little bit damp, the road is a little bit bumpy. And this combined with my blonde hair color, of course, I'm not 7.3, I'm 7.98, nearly 8 seconds. Shame on me, perhaps I'm not as good as I say I am. Oh well. Shame this measuring tool is precise, so I can't lie to myself and all of you, but I use all these other factors to defend my miserable performance. Okay, very quickly, it stopped raining, but it got dark all of a sudden. So in the new GLA, we've got a range of petrol engines, diesel engines. We also have hybrid. All GLAs are automatic. What I've got with me today is 220D, which is a 2-liter diesel engine, pumps 190 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. All diesels are all-wheel drive because it's important to remember primarily this is a front-wheel drive car, just like the A-Class. The automatic gearbox is nice and smooth. Yes, when you trot around town at very low speeds, there are some occasional hiccups, but I'm talking tiny ones. The steering here is nice and light, but not to the point you have to twist and turn until your arm falls off. It's got a very natural feel about it. Actually, the turning circle here is very similar to the one in BMW X1. Now, that is a big compliment. The visibility here is very good. Big rear window. You've got, of course, the cameras to support whatever maneuvers you're up to. Apologies for the poor lighting. Unfortunately, this is the harsh reality of European autumn. It is simply miserable. So, when you look at the GLA from the outside, you think a small SUV. And it is. But as soon as you hop inside of this car, well, that's a whole different story. I gotta give it to Mercedes. They have nailed the cabin. It feels very sumptuous. You've got lots of space, lots of storage to carry all your clutter, medium water bottle, large water bottle, gotta keep this body hydrated all year long. Wireless mobile charging, very, very handy. The quality of the materials, their fit, their finish is simply superb. I have tried very hard to find some plastic fantastic, yet I failed miserably. Well done, Mercedes. Now, if you think women are complex and complicated, well, think again, because we're going to talk about the spec the GLA and the differences between countries. So, in this particular car, on the inside, I have what's so-called the Premium Plus package. It includes, for example, the automatically adjusted seats, heating and cooling for the seats, and a few other bits and pieces. It would take forever to discuss this. I'm not so sure if this package is available in the UK. I've tried to look at the Mercedes-Benz website. Oh, what a disaster. Now, on the exterior, I have what's so called the progressive line. The progressive line is available in the UK. The progressive line is not available in the UK. In the UK, instead, you have the urban line. The urban line is not available in Poland. I told you, right? Now, what we both have, however, and I believe most countries have it, is the AMG trim. This particular car is definitely not the AMG trim, and it should definitely be the AMG trim. We've got this double screen, crisp, crystal clear, very beautiful. Digital driver's display. We have so many options in terms of different layouts. Whatever your heart desires, Mercedes just gives it to you. This is the MBUX system. Hey Mercedes! No, can't do. That is because this particular car does not have voice command. You can have the voice command in GLA, but quite frankly, I just can't be bothered. I think it's a bit of a gimmick, a bit of a hit and miss in all brands. I mean, you can just press the button to turn your temperature up and down. You don't need to speak to your car, do you? You can operate the system with your finger because it's a touch screen. It is also very quick in terms of response to your touch. I like it. You can also use the controls on your steering wheel whilst you're driving, very, very handy. Or you can use the touchpad down here. Personally, I use the touchpad the most because I find it the least distracting. It also keeps my screen free of sticky fingers. It has this posh wrist rest. I like it. Now, the iDrive in BMW is probably the best infotainment system available on the market, but MBUX, however, is the most beautiful system. That is not to say it's not functional. It's very, very easy, crystal clear. I mean, these two systems actually are up there. It's just whatever your preference is. I've got this gear lever on the steering wheel, very American, very Mercedes, very practical, especially when you're maneuvering a lot in and out of car parks. You don't have to take your hand off the steering wheel. It also saves space down here. The seat adjustment we've got here on the doors, but the lumbar support we have down here, so Mercedes separated. Very dramatic, I like it, very organized. Speaking of seats, these are very lush, very comfortable, very soft. The new GLA sits 10 centimeters higher than the previous generation, which makes this car more of a proper SUV versus a crossover. It is also very easy to get in and out of this car. Now, last but certainly not least, we've got, of course, this ambient lighting. I mean, you can change the color. You have so many different colors. It's beautiful on a miserable autumn day like today, or perhaps your nocturnal pursuits. But overall, I've got to give it to Mercedes. I mean, this is just beautiful. Well done. And what happens when you floor it? Well, pedal to the metal, we are in comfort mode only. And I'd say pretty good. It gets it together very quickly. Is it a wild animal? Well, no. It was never designed to be one. And it also depends what you compare it to. For example, I have just returned Rolls-Royce Wraith 6.6 litre, 632 horsepower. So I'd say pretty much every single car is going to feel a bit short on power. But for 2 litre, 190 horsepower, I think it's doing really well. And of course, being diesel, it's all about the mid-range punch, and it's got plenty. And what else? Being diesel, it's all about fuel economy. So what we're using? We're using bugger all, 6 liters. That's it. Makes me wonder if Mercedes continues to build such efficient diesels. I wonder what's going to happen with electric cars. Well, time will tell. Right, and what is the situation in the back of this vehicle? Well, a bit of fakery happening. Cuckoo! Fake exhaust pipes, completely unnecessary, Mercedes. Never mind. Electric tailgate does come as standard, which is a nice touch. 435 liters of boot space, easy access in and out, plenty of room, but should you need more, or you can just slide the rear seat forward, or you can fold them all together. They will not fold 100%, but nearly there. And that's enough about the boot. Okay, and what about being a passenger in the new GLA? So I've adjusted both front seats for my height, which is 1.7 meters, 5.6, and I've got very good headroom. I do have this beautiful sunroof, but the headroom is still very, very good. The leg room, plenty. I can stretch my feet just about fully, yeah, and I can slide my feet under the seat because the front seats are sort of sitting on stilts. Very clever of Mercedes. Now what about the third person? So. Now the new GLA is just a little bit shorter than the previous generation, but in the back you actually have more room, and I have to say I'm very, very impressed with Mercedes. But let's pop you into dynamic mode and pick up a bit of speed, pick up a bit of momentum, see how you behave on a twisty road, and it's not bad at all. I can feel the steering wheel having a bit more weight, becomes a lot more responsive. The gearbox is also quicker. Yes, the car becomes a little bit noisier, but it's not too bad at all. Is it agile like a cat? Well, I don't think this was the intention. It's not driver's car. Of course not. It's a solid, very planted German car. But on a twisty road, I tell you, there's no leaning, there's no bending. Of course, the physics play a big part here, but it's not going to lose its plot on a curvy road. And that is a major plus. Right, let's talk money, honey. So the GLA starts from just over £29,000 in the UK. What you're getting for it is a 1.3 litre petrol engine. And unless you really, really want to take it easy, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's just a little bit too lethargic, it's not punchy enough. What I have with me today, the 2-litre diesel, 190 horsepower, costs just over £35,000 in the UK. The GLA is also available in the USA, and it costs about 36,000 American dollars. Now let's talk about trims. I usually don't talk about trims, but here I feel it does matter. It makes a huge difference. So the Urban Edition is just a little bit, well, too ordinary for my liking. I think the AMG trim is definitely worth paying the £1,000 extra. The car just looks a bit smarter. Now let's talk about the size, because the size does matter whether you like it or not. So this is a small SUV, but I think this is a perfect SUV for majority of people. I mean, let's be honest, look at our roads, look at our car parks. It's a little bit messy because most people buy cars which are too big for them. I mean, you know, we're not skilled drivers, let's be honest. So let's just stick to cars that we can handle, and I think that GLA is the perfect size of a car. It's got plenty of space to carry all your clutter. It's just effortless. It's easy to handle. It's easy to drive this car. It's easy to park it. So I say a big yes for GLA. I like this car actually. Sure, I'd like to have the AMG engine under the bonnet, but oh well, it's just wishful thinking. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!